It is just after midnight in Los Angeles, August 9th, 1969. The heat of the day still lingers on the pavement. A quiet stretch of road in the hills above the city curves past a gate and a long driveway. Below, the lights of Los Angeles spread outward, steady and distant. Somewhere in that grid of streets, radios hum. Late shifts change over. The city moves without knowing what one address is about to become. This is how it enters the system, not through a courthouse, not through a headline, but through a hillside home that will soon pull the attention of an entire city uphill. Streets are not background here. They are the system. Los Angeles in 1969 is a city layered with movement. Studios, freeways, neighborhoods climbing into canyons and flattening into grids. The music industry draws people west. The film industry holds them. The highways carry them between work and home and places that feel temporary. The Los Angeles Police Department works across a city that never fully rests. Night patrols, radio calls, routine stops that fill logbooks. On Cielo Drive, a house sits at the end of a long approach. Private, set back from the road. The calendar tightens. In the early hours of the morning, a caretaker on the property notices something wrong. By the time police arrive, the address becomes a point on a map that will not fade. Inside the house, officers find Sharon Tate, 26, along with Jay Sebring, Abigail Folger, and Wojciech Frykowski. Outside, near a vehicle, Stephen Parent, 18. Their names enter the system. Their positions are logged. The scene is photographed. Every day without an arrest becomes its own headline. The city wakes to the news through newspapers and radio. The address is printed, the names repeat. Reporters drive into the hills. Cameras point at a gate that now stands as a boundary between private space and public attention. The investigation begins with the house. Who lived there? Who visited? Who worked there? The timeline forms around the last known movements, dinner plans, phone calls, cars arriving and leaving. The file grows outward. The map does not shrink. It expands. A second scene appears the next night. August 10th, 1969. Los Feliz. Lino and Rosemary LaBianca are found in their home. The city feels the pressure shift. 2 locations, 2 nights. The system begins to treat the events as connected. Detectives compare notes. Evidence lists are laid side by side. The streets between the hills and the neighborhoods below become part of the investigation. Information degrades as it spreads. Witnesses remember sounds, headlights, figures in the dark. Some accounts match, some do not. The police department faces the limits of a city that holds too many people to track at once. The case pulls in multiple divisions: homicide detectives, forensic teams, command staff. The press moves faster than paperwork. Fear travels faster than facts. People lock doors earlier. Neighbors call in suspicious activity. The idea of safety in private homes begins to feel thin. The investigation stretches for months. Suspects are questioned, released. Leads are followed into dead ends. The case begins to drift in public conversation, even as it stays heavy inside the department. Then, in October 1969, a different thread surfaces. Members of a group living at Spawn Ranch, a former movie set in the San Fernando Valley, are arrested in an unrelated case involving stolen vehicles and firearms. During questioning, information surfaces that ties back to the August scenes. Names enter the file: Charles Manson, Patricia Krenwinkel, Susan Atkins, Leslie Van Houten, Charles Tex Watson. The system shifts again. The investigation does not close in. It changes direction. Detectives connect statements to evidence, locations to people. Watson is found to have left California. He is later arrested in Texas and extradited. The case moves into courtrooms. The city follows. In 1970, the trial begins in Los Angeles Superior Court. Security lines form outside the building. Press badges fill the hallways. The courtroom becomes the new center of attention. The prosecution presents evidence, testimony, physical items logged into record. The defense responds. The calendar becomes a structure again, day after day, week after week. The courtroom is not just a room, it is a signal. Television cameras wait outside. Reporters write from the steps. The trial becomes part of the city's daily rhythm. Jurors sit in a closed system, isolated from coverage, tasked with weighing what the public already debates. Witnesses describe the nights, the movements, the roles of each person involved. The record becomes detailed. In 1971, verdicts are reached. Charles Manson, Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Leslie Van Houten are found guilty. They are sentenced to death. The state of California later changes its law, commuting those sentences to life in prison. The system adjusts, but the outcome remains. The verdict ends the trial. The story continues. The city moves on to other headlines, other cases, but this one stays in memory. The address on Cielo Drive becomes known beyond Los Angeles. The name Sharon Tate becomes part of cultural record. The police archive fills with boxes, photographs, transcripts, evidence logs. The trial footage enters media libraries. The case becomes something people study. In law schools, in journalism, in books, the hills stay quiet. The history does not. Years pass. Parole hearings occur. Records are updated. Some names leave the system through death. Others remain in custody. The file grows thinner as pages are closed, but it never empties. The city around Cielo Drive changes. Houses are renovated. Streets are repaved. But the address holds a different weight. The system keeps what it decides. It also keeps what it cannot forget. What remains known as narrow? August 9th and 10, 1969. 2 homes. A list of names. What remains unknown is smaller now than it once was, but not absent. The full measure of every moment inside those houses. The exact sequence of each movement. The record holds what is verified. It does not imagine beyond it. In archives, the case sits beside thousands of others, each with its own dates, its own locations. But this one is pulled out more often. The city's memory keeps returning to it. The system solved the case. The city keeps the weight. In the end, the streets below the hills fill with traffic again. Studios open their gates. Freeways carry the day's movement. The courthouse hears new cases. The police respond to new calls. But in Los Angeles, a file marked 1969 remains part of the city's long record. The city outlives the moment. The moment outlives the silence that came before it. And in the system of streets, courts, and archives, the names tied to those 2 nights remain, fixed to a calendar that closed on a verdict, even as the memory continues to move.